You are once again welcome to my channel. You are welcome to Catfish Solution Academy, and from this point I'll be talking about, we'll be entering to our episode 30, and from this episode 30 I'll be talking about the alternative material for our 6mm. From the episode 29 I have listed the material, and I've calculated for the crude protein for the original feed. So but now we'll be going into the alternative feed. I told you, in order for you to be expert and professional on feed formulation, you must know how to alternate materials. For one, sometimes you may go to where they are selling feed, and you say you want to buy maybe GNC, and you are told that there's no GNC. You must know what you can use to alternate for the GNC so that your fishes can eat. Not that when they told you you don't have GNC and you have to go, your fishes will be starved for a week. So you must know how to alternate. So that's what I'm just telling you, giving you the information on how, teaching you how to alternate for your material and still give you the same dietary nutrient. So from our alternative for feed, I'll be using the local fish meal, which is 65%, and I'll be costing it at 800 naira, and I'll be using 15 kilo for our 100 kg, which the cost comes to 12,000 naira. And I'll be using I'll be using what they call the bone meal, and I'll target it to 88%, which I'll be using the cost of 150 naira, and I'll be using just 5 kilo, and which gives me 750 naira. And again, I'll be using the feather meal. The feather meal, I tagged it at 82% crude protein, which the cost for 200 naira per kg, and I'll be using just 10 kilo of it, which will give me 2,000 naira. And the soya meal, I'll be tagging the soya meal for 46% crude protein, which I'll be using just 20, which the cost is 200 naira, which I'll be using just 10 kg. So using the 10 kilo, which total cost will give me 2,000 naira. And again, I'll be using what we call the GNC, which is the granite cake. So the granite cake, I'll be tagging the crude protein to 60%, and the 60%, which the cost, I'll be putting the cost at 2,200 naira, which I'll be using just 20 kg ingredient for my 100 kilo. Sorry, which the total cost will be giving me 4,000 naira. And again, the last material we'll be using today is the likes of the biscuit waste, the maize, the rice bran, the wheat over, the indomie, the berry waste, any of it that you can get. You can get your azola, you can get your duckweed, you can use that. I'll be tagging that to 13% crude protein, which I'll be putting the cost at 120 naira, which I'll be using 40 kg for this formulation, and this will give me a cost of 4,800 naira. And I'll be using the alternative, the additives, which are the fish premix 1 kilo. I'll be using DCP 1 kg. I'll be using the vitamin C 0.2, or I can use 0.1, but 0.2 is okay because of the season, depending on the season, because you know fishes do being affected and attacked when it's seasonal, when we are having the summer, and the summer period is very, very dangerous, which you need more vitamin C. So I'll be using the vitamin C for 0.2, and which will give me the totality of my formulation will give me 30,350 naira, which a kg will be running to 303 naira per kg. So that is the formulation for 6mm. That means the alternative formulation for 6mm. So I told you, look at what I'm having here. The alternative formulation for 6mm is giving me 30,350 naira, which my original formulation is giving me, I think from my episode, it's giving me, it's giving me 45,200 naira. So you can see the difference. That means my alternative formulation is cheaper than my original formulation. That means my original formulation per kg gives me 452 naira, which my alternative formulation package give me 303 naira. So from this level, I'm still having a 200 naira difference, and the 200 naira difference multiplied by 1,000 will give me 20,000. So I'm having a 20,000 extra from this formulation. And the shocked about this alternative material is that, let us go into how to calculate the crude protein for this. So we now compare the crude protein of this with my original formulation, if we are making sense at all. So let us go in to calculate the crude protein. The crude protein, the first one we are using is the local fish meal, which I put at 60%. And again, this is how to calculate your crude protein. That means the crude protein of the material divided by the quantity of your formulation times the quantity of the material you're using in that formulation divided by 1 will give you your crude protein calculation. So that means I'll be using 65% fish meal. That means 65 divided by 100 times 15. That means I'm using 15 kg in the 100 kg formulation divided by 1 will give me 9.75%. And the bone meal I'll be using, the bone meal I'll be putting the bone meal to 88% divided by 100 times 5 divided by 1 will give me 4.4% crude protein. And the feather meal, 82% divided by 100 times 10, this will give me 8.2% crude protein. And let us go to the soya. The soya I'll be using 46% divided by 100 times 10 divided by 1. This gives me 4.6% protein. And the GNC, I'll be using a crude protein. This GNC crude protein will be 60% divided by 100 divided by, I'll be using 20 kg divided by 1. This gives me 12% crude protein. And the other materials like the biscuit, the indomie, any of it, the azola, I'll be putting 13% crude protein divided by 100 times 40, because I'll be using 40 kg divided by 1 will give me 5.2% crude protein. So let's now do the calculation. So the calculation now is 9.75 plus 4.4 plus 8.2 plus 12 plus 5.2. So the total crude protein I'll be having for this formulation is 44.15%, approximately 44%, which still fall at the ranges. But note, to me 44% falls at the ranges of 2 mm. So if you can achieve your 4 mm, your 6 mm at 44%, you can self-sense the extent of the growth of your fishes. That means automatically the fishes will do very, very well, because most of the branded feed you get out there will give you your 6 mm to like maybe 36%. Yeah, and you can formulate your own for 44%, which is even higher than most of the branded feed crude protein for 2 mm. So to me, you are at the right track. Your fishes is going to turn their body tissues massively. Your fishes are going to do very, very great. So considering this formulation as our alternative formulation, let us now advise ourselves before we go into other episode. That means we'll be talking about how to formulate for your 9 mm. So before I go into the 9 mm, this is a time to advise ourselves. So to me, within that recommended percentage of crude protein you need for 6 mm, and you can surpass the recommended percentage of crude protein for 6 mm, you can do for 2 mm. And this is an alternative formulation. To me, I will advise you to create what we call the spacing for your fishes, to get a quality seeds, get a good water, make sure that you change your water. To me, as a grow-out farmer, you need to change your water every day. So because if you want to go into fish farming, it's always advisable for you to understand that fish need water, fish lives in water, they grow in water, they cannot do anything without water. So this is the backup for you to understand that they need water. So you must prepare water for them. So I don't want to know you don't have water. The only thing that can give you the problem is the light, power. Get generator. You can use gas in order to save your cost. You can get a what we call the solar pump, just for you to achieve that result. Because I tell you, if you don't give them those provision, you may not achieve those results. If you don't put them where the life is a very cozy environment, where they can have space and strive and grow well, you may not have that result. So those are the factors that are aiding a lot of farmers to grow. If you have a little tank, let me just put it as a cubic meter tank, you must know the amount of fish that you put inside. To me, if you put 100, 80 just to achieve result, is okay. I bet you, if you can put just 80 into a cubic meter and somebody put 500 into a cubic meter, you that put 80, you will see more result. You will see more money than that person that put 500. Because if that person that put 500 is not careful, he may be having 10 of you, you'll be having 10, 8 to 1 kilo, which you will be having 2 to 1 kilo. So if you can have that, you can see how profiting this will become to you by the end of the day, because you work with your IQ, you are creative enough to understand the best practice in catfish farming. With this, you can excel and expand more in the end of the day. So that is why sometimes if you see us from most of our video goes to farms that will build up what we call a backyard farm for them. It's for them to start small and grow big. So at this point, I think those of you that value the information will make it work for you. Those are just the simple facts I can release at this period. So I'll be going into the season 4 episode 23. And before I go, let me just wish all of us Merry Christmas in advance. And I pray that by this year we'll still, our desired, our glamorous and desired wishes will still be granted. The year has not run out. And based on the cost of feed, the increase in cost of feed, and I can see now that the cost of fish is getting increased a little bit. This is being forced by the system. Even farmers cannot force it, because if farmers want to force it, they have challenges. The economy is forcing this himself, so we don't have choice to go by it. To me, presently, if you are selling grow out, you should be selling your grow out nothing less than 2,200 naira, 2,300 naira. To me, go to 2,500 naira. You can see how much they are selling the frozen fish around. So if you are selling at 2,500 naira at this point, and for those of our co-farmers, I will just say this: the leaders out there that are fixing price, please know what you are doing. Fish still remain fish. All fish are the same. Don't categorize fish. You can't categorize titles. You can't categorize panla. You can't categorize yo-yo. You don't categorize them. You can't categorize turkey. Fish is fish. If you are selling for 2,000 naira, if you are selling melange should be for 2,000 naira. So, but I don't know why people are doing so. The rate I sell my fish, I control my price. If you want to buy my fish, I'll give my price. People know my fish. If you are buying seedlings for me, I control my price. I cannot sell like an hungry farmer. If you want to exist in this business, if you want to come back, if people want to see you in this business in another 5 years, you must get a very good price. You must be continuous. And for you to, how can you be continuous is when you can give out the needed price to, you can control a going good price to make profit. So at this end, I'll be saying thank you and God bless you all.